tonight. A little later in the program, we're going to have from Kennedy High School in the San Fernando Valley a guy by the name of Cassidy. Not Hopalong Cassidy, but a guy who could really throw the football in his days at Chatsworth. Troy Cassidy, he's their head football coach. He led them to a Division II city championship. And Dylan Yribe, an outstanding lineman, plays on defense, does a lot of different things, also will be on the show from Kennedy High School. But as I bring in Tarek Fatal of the Daily News, we must start with the big game in the southern section. Mater Dei, undefeated, defending champions, already with a win over St. John Bosco, falls short 24-22.
I just always kind of thought Mater Dei would get kind of a boost of energy knowing it was Rowlandson's last game and win it for them. And then I thought to myself, wait a minute, maybe even a bigger boost of energy for St. John Bosco to spoil that last game for Rowlandson. And I think, not to say that that made a difference, but it certainly looked that way out there. And Mater Dei made more mistakes, and St. John Bosco won. And there you go. There's the difference, 2 points.
Yeah, they stopped a two-point conversion late in the game. Davidson, who after scoring a touchdown, tried to score on the two-pointer, just fell short. Again, you got to think about the quarterback, Elijah Brown, was 29-0 for Mater Dei, had never lost. And for Rowlandson, 34 years, and it's finally over. But what a career.
I think all eyes are going to be on who they select to be that next head coach, and I think it's possible who they pick, is really going to change the trajectory of that league and obviously the program with a new person at the helm. But I'm curious to know if they're going to keep business as usual with how they pick, or are they going to kind of change some things? And maybe Mater Dei is not the powerhouse we all are used to. Maybe they kind of take a step down, which would still be pretty good, and maybe St. John Bosco rises to be the team to beat all the time. So really curious to see who they hire.
Whoever inherits the team, most of the team is coming back, led by Elijah Brown, the quarterback. So Mater Dei is going to be good next year. The question is, will they be able to sustain with Bruce gone? All right, let's move to the D2 game. I always want to say D1 because it's different distribution in the southern section. In the open division, in the city section, that's their highest level. In the CIF southern section, the Mater Dei game was D1. But in D2, Sierra Canyon won the championship. Not a surprise. This is 8 wins in a row for the Trailblazers, and they're playing terrific football, knocking off an undefeated Inglewood team. And I know you were there.
Yeah, I was there, and Dane Dunn, sophomore running back for Sierra Canyon, almost 1,000 yards rushing just in the postseason alone. And, 23-7 the final. And that game was 14-7 for a long time. Okay, 17-7. And then Sierra Canyon punched in a touchdown, Dane Dunn, with about 2 minutes to go to really put it away. That Sierra Canyon football team, I've said it on the show for weeks, is playing the best football in Southern California.
How good is Dunn? He's a sophomore. Obviously, he's talented. But maybe the question should be, how good can he become?
Yeah, I think sky's the limit. He is small. I mean, it's not like he's not like a Zach Charbonnet or something that we saw at Oaks and now at UCLA. He's kind of a make-you-miss, but he's also a very physical runner. And as a sophomore, he's going to grow and get stronger and bigger. So how much bigger he gets, I don't know. But he's already a pretty small guy. He's maybe 5'7" on a good day. So one to watch for the future, Sierra Canyon. They bring a lot of guys back. Division
III, Yorba Linda in a great football game. Low scoring against Upland. Won it on a late field goal with 42 seconds left. Jaden Flagg kicked a 42-yard field goal to win it.
I remember being at the Rose Bowl on Friday night. I was with Steve Fryer and Dan Albano from the Orange County Register, and we kept checking the updates, and that score was like 3-0, 6-0. It was like, wait, it's the third quarter, the fourth quarter, and obviously 6-6 for a long time, and then the field goal wins it. But I'm happy for Yorba Linda. Remember, this is a team that went undefeated last year and had to play Bishop Amat in the first round in Division II. This time they're in a really division that they belong, Division III, and they win a CIF title. So good for them.
Yeah, Coach Bailey does a wonderful job there. We move ahead, and this was really the Aiden Childs story about Downey. Childs is a quarterback who's going to Oregon State. He played against Cypress, and he just tore them apart. He threw for nearly 300 yards, threw for 3 touchdowns. What I like about the game and the fact that Downey was able to beat Cypress 40-7 is the fact that after the game, Childs got on an airplane, went to Corvallis, and saw his future team win in the Civil War against Oregon. Oregon State beat them.
Not just that they beat them. Wasn't the score like 31-10 or something?
It was 31-10.
I mean, Oregon State comes back and the Beavers, it was bedlam in Corvallis. That's just an awesome what an awesome weekend for that young man. He'll never forget that weekend. CIF champion, and then to go watch the Beavers pull off the win against Oregon, that's pretty cool.
And again, he only had 3 incompletions in the game. He was 11 of 14 for big numbers. All right, let's move ahead to our next game. And this is a fun game as well. I mean, there's been great games throughout. But as we check out the
Division
next one,
5.
Etowanda, St. Francis. I want to bring this one up.
Oh, no.
Because it was 31-9 in the second half. At one point, there was a 26-point discrepancy.
Correct.
And Etowanda rallies all the way back and wins 45-42. Their quarterback throws for close to 500 yards, Davis.
St. Francis coach Dean Harrington said it's the worst loss of his career. And we kept calling, we do call him. I'm not going to take, we call him the Dean of the postseason. Dean Harrington, he, coached a long time. St. Francis in the finals last year in Division 4. This year they're in the Division 5 final, and they come up short by way of an absolute if you're going to lose like that, it's because you're helping the other team. There was turnovers and probably some 3-and-outs, but St. Francis ends up on the losing end, and good for Etowanda for sticking to it.
Etowanda outscored them 21-0 in the fourth quarter. Next, we want to get to Laguna Beach and Diamond Bar. And this was another fine game. Laguna Beach wins it 36-28. Of course, this is the team, and we have highlights with Bella on the squad. Bella Rasmussen, the young lady that became the first woman in Southern Section and California State history to score 2 touchdowns in one game. And this was another high-scoring, freewheeling affair.
I'm sure we'll get to it later, but Laguna Beach wins a CIF title, and Laguna Hills won a CIF title. They beat Golden Valley in Division 7, but so 2 CIF, in the Laguna area, 2 CIF championships in football this year. That's pretty cool.
How about they break a drought? They hadn't won the championship since 1946. That's 76 years the last time Laguna Beach won a CIF Southern Section championship. And now overall they've won a few, but you got to go all the way back to 1946. That's just an amazing backdrop to this game. They are now 11-3. Diamond Bar fell to 12-2.
This is the most incredible thing ever. If anyone deserves it the most, it's these boys right here. They work so hard every single play, every practice, hours and hours and hours, and it finally paid off. Look at it, 60 years later, we're champs, baby! Woo!
How pumped up was Bella, huh?
Yeah, it's great that we got her on this show earlier this year, and she is a history-making young woman, and man, they got a CIF state championship to play for, so good for them.
All right, the last game we want to talk about before we get to our guests is Whittier Christian 20, Linwood 7. Now, Linwood had a lot of good athletes, but Whittier Christian was a great story. Frank Manriquez did a tremendous job with the Heralds, and they really came on strong at the end of the year, and they win the CIF championship 20-7.
What better way to have a debut coaching season than to win a CIF championship? What a great season for Coach Manriquez. And Whittier Christian, if you look, there's some football history there, in regards to CIF championships. 5, if I'm not mistaken, Randy. And so for them to have that back, in the trophy case, so to speak, is really, really special. And for it to come on Frank's first season, I'm sure the alumni are like, yeah, this is the guy. Let's keep him around as long as we can.
Yeah, he's going to build up the tradition even more. In fact, you're right about the 5. The last time they did win it, though, was in 1990. So there's another drought. What's wonderful about all these championship games, you're seeing these different programs step up and break these long droughts, and that's wonderful.
Yeah, it is. I think there's 2 ways to look at it. I got to always kind of be down the middle, me, but it's for there to be 14 CIF divisions. It sounds like a little much, but then you get moments like this where history can be made because programs that wouldn't otherwise get to taste
definitely our running back,
championship
Jake
glory.
Martinez. He led our team. He had well over 20-something touchdowns. He led our team, and I always got to give it to our O-line. They protect me back there. They're making pushes for runs, and yeah. It was really a team effort, though. Everyone.
Oh, absolutely. My whole staff, Walter Fletcher, he, helped me with the offense. And Matt Robinson, my defensive coordinator, did a fantastic job tonight. Ken Mason runs the special teams and also helps on the defense. And last but not least is Junior Tutulao. He's just is a great motivational guy and just helps with the defense as well. As far as the kids, Jake Martinez, again, had another great game. Held down the offense. Caleb managed the game real good. Caleb Murray, our quarterback, In the defense, the linebacker core just really stepped up. Julian Linares, Adrian Hernandez, and Johnny Rojas. Those guys just played a phenomenal game.
There it is, 20-7, the final. And again, they're going to play Crenshaw, and we'll talk a little bit about that game later. Let's quickly move into the city section. Birmingham did it again. They knocked off Garfield 3 in a row in the open division in the city section. Birmingham is just apparently just too good for everyone as we take a look at that Laguna Beach Diamond Bar score. But I guess we got some highlights here that we want to show on this one as well. Birmingham was just tremendous in the city section.
Yeah, listen, again, I say it all the time. Until you knock off the big dog, they're the team to beat, and Birmingham, again, does it. The Patriots, 3 straight Open Division City titles, and a lot of that team comes back, especially Peyton Waters, who, no surprise, will probably be the City Player of the Year, and he'll come back for his senior year. I'd expect Birmingham to be the early favorite to win it again next season.
Yeah, Jim Rose does a tremendous job there. Just phenomenal work for Birmingham, and they win it, and Morgan, the running back, rushed for nearly 300 yards, and you can see he's big and he's strong and he's physical and dominant. He came out of nowhere. He's a guy that came to the school right before the football season from Las Vegas.
Yeah, 292 yards, 4 touchdowns for Morgan. And that's sometimes you need just the one player, that one extra guy to make plays, and it does wonders for your team. And it's an extra dynamic thing. Here's Peyton Waters. Look at that. Slant, separation, and to the house for the Birmingham All-Star.
Yeah, that was a 70-yard score there for Peyton Waters. But it was Morgan's show. You mentioned the 4 touchdowns. Look how strong he is. And look at the acceleration as well, just pulling away and running away from everyone for the touchdown. Big plays for the Patriots. Just a tremendous performance. I think the final score is shocking. Not the fact that Birmingham won it, but by that number, 49-13. All right, let's move ahead to the D1 game. And this is Granada Hills and Dijon Stanley all over the Palisades Dolphins. Not even close. 44-7, a rout as we look at that one score from Birmingham. And then we'll go back to Granada Hills winning the D1 game. They won that by a huge score, as I mentioned, 44-7. Stanley was terrific.
Yeah, Dijon Stanley, it's nothing I haven't seen before. I think the second we knew Granada wasn't in the open division, it was like, forget it. They're going to win the Division I title. It's this, I mean, there's so many different ways for this offense. You would probably know better than me, like the wing T,
right.
The double this, the triple that, all these RPOs, run pass options, but they'll put Stanley in at quarterback and then he'll just run it himself, or he'll line him up in the backfield and give it to him. But he literally could not be stopped, and he hadn't been stopped all year long except for a couple games when they lost to Birmingham and Eagle Rock. So they're going to play for a state championship, and I believe it was Granada's first CIF championship since '86. So good for the Highlanders.
Yeah, and they didn't complete a pass this year.
Why? Yeah,
I think
didn't
that's amazing.
need to. Yeah,
that's absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
I was arguing with you, kidding you with you, really, that they didn't throw a pass all year. I think they threw 6 or 7 or 8 the whole season, but they did not complete a pass. When they have the Stanley cousins, there's no reason to throw the football. They're just so dominant. And Dijon Stanley in the class by himself, the dominant player, and there's the score of 44-7. A couple other quick scores, and then we'll bring our guests in. Crenshaw winning the D3, 48-14 over Wilson. That is not a surprise. That was expected. Really a great tribute to Wilson just to get to the championship game, but Crenshaw was too good, and that is the correct score, 49-14. And then, of course, Kennedy over Panorama, 22-21 in the D2 game. And with that, we're going to go and visit with their head coach, Troy Cassidy, and Dylan Yribe, an outstanding lineman, plays a lot of different positions for the Kennedy Golden Cougars in the San Fernando Valley, their first championship in a long time. But, gentlemen, I want you to look at this video first. We're going to take you back to 2005. Listen,
good secondary coverage. 3rd down and 7. Cassidy's throw is low to the ground and incomplete, intended for Walker. Another drop on a ball intended for Spire. Good secondary coverage from Sergio Padilla.
And
but Spire should have caught it.
Oh, Spire should have caught that. Padilla's pretty good in coverage, but Spire, you're absolutely right. He's got to catch that ball in his hands. So far, Troy Cassidy, he's been on target 2 straight times, and his receivers have let him down.
Another look at the technique of Troy Cassidy.
Yeah, that left-handed thrower, I'll tell you, he throws a nice pass, and Dickey's got to stay on his feet and do something after the catch.
Spill cone. Sounds like he's rocking and rolling to the music here at Chatsworth.
Well, it sure is. It's a great thing when the bands come out and play during the games. I'll tell you, it's really exciting.
Of course, Ryan, you played with Cassidy, looking to throw it first down, no chance. He is buried. Driving him down was Cedric Reeves, the junior defensive tackle.
And that was
Randy,
a nice play by Cedric
clips?
Reeves. He just he gets cut, and he gets up off his block, and there was no chance
What
that
about
time for Cassidy.
some
3-step
completions
drop.
or
His
something?
receiver
There was none.
First
We couldn't
down
find
gain.
any. Wait,
Oh my,
how about the
my
mobility
gosh,
of
dude,
Troy Cassidy?
what kind of
and the fact
intro
that he throws
is
it
this
from
for
the
our
left
guy
side.
here? You're kidding me.
Coach, what'd you think of your highlight video?
Oh my God.
Oh wow! I feel the love. Definitely feeling the love. No, it was kind of cool to, see that. But I'm sure there was some good plays in there.
I wonder, Dylan, what'd you think of that? Would you like to have blocked for your head coach when he was throwing the football? By the way, that was for Chatsworth against Kennedy. Let's get Dylan's thoughts on that.
Oh, well, I think that they must have run the ball a lot because I didn't see him throwing much. But, I mean, if I was in that pass protection, there would be nothing from the left side coming up.
All right. He needs all the protection he can get. All right, Coach, first and foremost, congratulations on the Kennedy's first ever LA City championship. Are you still on cloud nine?
Yeah, definitely a great experience, and something to remember forever. And the school's been excited, the community's excited. I know the kids are excited. We're still preparing for our next game, but definitely still enjoying the moment as much as we can while still getting ready to play this weekend.
Coach, we talked about it before you came on. The balance or lack thereof, if you don't need it, the run game. You said you ran the ball, did you say 60-plus times in the city final? And Gabriel Argot ran for 42 of those. Just talk about going to that run game when you know it's working.
Well, we really, our game plan was to come out and run the football, and we run an up-tempo offense, and so we're able to get more plays off, as we pick up more yards quicker. And, we knew that we can, rely on our line, rely on our running backs, especially Gabriel Argot and Alonzo Fuentes, and, get behind those guys and pick up yards. And we were able to do that. And, if it wasn't broke, don't fix it. So we wanted to, keep running that football, did I know I was going to hand the ball 42 times to Gabriel? No, I knew we were going to hand it to him a lot. But, 42 times pretty incredible, and you definitely would never have known because he didn't slow down.
Now, Troy, let's be realistic about this. You were an 8 seed coming into this tournament. Nobody expected Kennedy to win it. Then you get to the final and you face a team in Panorama that beat you by a couple touchdowns during the regular year. So explain this to everyone. How did you win the championship?
We played our best football at the right time. We really got our running game going. We had a pretty strong running game throughout the season, but it really got going in playoff time. Our defense, improved and stepped up as well. Coach Cadillo, our defensive coordinator, and the defensive staff, they really put together great game plans for all 4 of those games. And, it allowed, us to, really control the ball for most of the game because we were getting it back and we were able to move the ball as well. So, it was a full-on team effort. And we knew, playing Panorama, again, the things that they like to do. And I thought our game adjustments from our Week 10 game were really good. And our coaches did a good job of getting those, getting our defensive guys, prepared for those adjustments. And then our offense, prepared on what they wanted to do on defense. And, we were able to come out on top in a tight game.
For those viewers at home, Dylan plays offensive line. He plays left tackle, but then on defense, he plays inside the defensive line, outside the defensive line. And even Coach Cassidy told us that Dylan played some linebacker last game. So, Dylan, my question for you is, you're a versatile guy. Do you see yourself as a versatile player that can do anything the team needs for a victory?
Well, I think I got some speed and power on our team, and I mean, whatever coach needs, I'm just gonna go do it and try to do as best as I can. I try to go line up for receiver, but I don't think my hands are that good.
I wanted to ask one more. When you had the ability to lift up that city section plaque, the first in program history, what did that moment mean for you? How good did it feel to call yourself a city champion?
It was pretty unbelievable. It was just crazy to think about how far we've come, and how I've been with Coach since he's come into our school, and all the hard work and all the dedication that myself, our coaches, and all the team put in, and it just paid off, and we got to walk away from that game with the trophy.
Coach, Troy Cassidy, you get the ultimate championship, the section title. That's what we really gun for when you're in the city section. You want to win a section championship. But now you get the bonus of a regional game. So now you're going to play Saturday at 6 o'clock against San Gabriel. First, what do you know about them? Can you keep this momentum going? And what are your chances against this San Gabriel team?
San Gabriel's a strong team, and they had a great year themselves. And they're champions. They got it done, and they really have played really well the last couple of weeks, especially on the offensive side of the ball. They've thrown up I think about 100 points in the last 2 weeks, and so they have a really strong run game, some big bodies, a good running back, and we're gonna have to bring our A game on our defense side of the ball, and we're gonna have to take care of the football and continue to pick up yards on offense, and then hopefully finish drives so we can put points up.
Well, congratulations, Troy. I've known you for a little bit now, going back to your heyday when you were throwing all those touchdown passes and having some incompletions occasionally and getting sacked here and there.
Sorry we didn't have any highlights of that.
We just picked the good stuff.
I do want my teammates to know that you were awesome, and I love you guys, and this is not me who put that up there like that. So I love my team. I'm still friends with lots of them, close friends, and they know how much they mean to me.
Yeah, the question is, will they still be friends with you after they see the video? No, I'm just kidding. No, but I know you're a good-natured guy, and that's the way we went in that direction, because you told me when we were discussing that game, you didn't even think you played that well that particular night, but your team fell, but you're a good guy. You've come around, and you ended up coaching the team you lost to that night, Kennedy. Obviously, you played for Chatsworth. And Dylan, thank you for being on the program. And, guys, best of luck Saturday night against San Gabriel.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having us. We really appreciate it.
Our pleasure. Troy Cassidy, good guy, and that's why we could have some fun with him.
Yeah, no question. I mean, I've been out to a couple Kennedy games and come out to a couple practices while he's been there, and there's always a good energy there. He's got a heart for the players and the kids and trying to accomplish some really cool things, and look what they did. They made some history this season.
All right, we got to talk about some games coming up, and that's why I got this big piece of paper here, because there's a list of state games. We'll get to some of them, I'm sure, maybe not all of them, because there's a number of them happening. Here's one I know you're going to tomorrow night. Lincoln of San Diego, 11-1. Their only loss is to Alamany and Sierra Canyon. This game is a Saturday.
No. You're right. I'm mistaken. I thought the game was on Saturday. It is tomorrow night.
You should know you're going to
this. It is a Friday.
You're telling me it's Saturday and it's Friday?
Tomorrow is Friday. Yes,
You're
sorry.
working too much, Tarek.
I got. I will be there, and it will be Friday tomorrow. Yes, Sierra Canyon, I think, is just almost unbeatable right now, and I just don't see Lincoln being that strong against Sierra Canyon. But we're gonna find out tomorrow night when I'm there. 8 o'clock kick.
We need to get off the graphic because we got a cake in the studio. We got to get a shot of this cake. Can we get a shot of the cake? We got a shot of the coaches.
Yeah, we got
everybody.
A shot of everybody.
The cake. It's your birthday. Congratulations, Tarek. Are you going to blow out the candles?
I don't know if I can get there. I'm wired up.
Lean forward. You're tall. We'll never get to the rest of these games.
There's only one way to do this.
That's true. That's a movable table. That's good. Wow. Are you going to disclose what your...
My wife's watching.
Okay.
I had to.
And you are what, 27?
24.
Come on.
33.
33.
Just turned 33, November 30th.
Same age as Troy Cassidy.
I know. We just got done talking about it.
Yeah, you guys
Thank
are the
you.
same
Thank you for doing this, everybody. That was very nice.
Okay. So
Thanks, Randy. I
By
don't
the
know if
way,
that was your idea.
no,
Probably
no,
not.
That was not my idea, actually.
The interns, maybe?
Yeah.
They get the shout out.
Alexis brought that in there, and we got to thank Alexis for
Alexis.
coming in.
Yes.
Alexis, lady. Good job. Okay, what am I want to? I want to come in here with Roderick Robinson. He's going to be a great running back.
Oh, man. That's who Sierra Canyon's going to have to stop tomorrow night.
All right, what about Yorba Linda here? They're undefeated. They're playing Liberty. It's a very good program out of the Bakersfield area. You got to think Yorba Linda's going to win it, but Liberty's got athletes.
Yeah, that's a toss-up. But what happens with these regional games, I want to just share something real quick for our viewers. So Sierra Canyon was the Division II winner, Randy, but Lincoln's the Open Division winner, right? So Liberty might be a higher division winner from their section playing a Division III winner. So the level's a little different, but it still makes it competitive. But something worth noting, like Liberty plays at a different level in their section. So Yorba Linda might have their work cut out for them. You see what I'm saying?
I agree with you. I'll tell you who's got their work cut out for them, Birmingham, the Patriots. Now they're going to host Laguna Hills.
Oh.
We're going to see that game. And Laguna Hills, as you notice that one, Downey, I think, is a heavy favorite there. But this game with Birmingham's won a lot of games in a row. They're really coming out. Laguna Hills has a running back in Troy Liegber who has 2,337 yards, 39 touchdowns, and against Golden Valley last week ran for 206 yards and a couple scores.
Yeah, that win over Golden Valley was impressive to me because Golden Valley was playing really tough defense, and I think that game was 28-27, I think was the final in that game. So Laguna Hills is battle-tested and has played a good schedule this year. So that is going to be a tough test for Birmingham. I don't know if the Patriots are going to win that one. I got to pick against the home Daily News team on that. I think Laguna Hills is going to end up in a state title.
Glad you can do that. Okay, there it is. 11-3 and 11-2. Granada Hills and Laguna Beach. Laguna Beach, very good football team, but I don't know. This Granada Hills team to me looks great.
Yeah, they do. I mean, if Laguna Beach has a problem stopping the run, they're going to have a long night with Dijon and Daryl Stanley from Granada Hills. So we'll see. Again, the city section, I think, has a hard time when it comes to these regional and state games. It's just the level of competition goes up a notch, and let's just see how they do.
I do like the Highlanders, though. I just think they're really talented. All right, move ahead to our next game, Lancaster and Classical Academy. Lancaster's been a great story.
Yeah, great story. First ever CIF championship last weekend. I don't think they'd ever even been past they'd never even been to a final. And here they are, CIF champs, and going for a state championship now. So I'm pulling for Lancaster because it would be a great story to see them go all the way.
Whittier Christian at Crenshaw, to me, is an interesting game.
Yes, it is.
You got City Power from years gone by dropping down in divisions, down to 7A against this Whittier Christian team that's really coming on. Robert Garrett's a fabulous coach at Crenshaw, but he hadn't had a good team, and suddenly they burst on the scene, win the Division III city title, and thus they're in the regional.
Yeah, I think this is a toss-up. Whittier Christian was the Division 14 winner, Randy.
Yeah.
And then you got Crenshaw, Division 3, which is a pretty, let's just be honest, it's a pretty low level. It's just the truth in the city section. I think Coach would even agree to that. So I don't know. I think that's going to be a really good game.
I think it is, too. I just think it popped out at you because you got the contrast of Whittier Christian and Crenshaw. You never see that.
Sure.
And then, of course, our last game with our guys from Kennedy, Troy Cassidy squad, 9-5 at San Gabriel, which is 11-3.
Yeah, again, I think when city section schools, when they're done with their own section and they go to regionals, things get tougher. But you know what? Give me the Cougars.
Really?
Yes. I think Cassidy's got a game plan for that San Gabriel.
After watching Cassidy throw the football, I got to go with San Gabriel. I'm sorry.
Oh, my God.
I'm sorry.
What is this, a roast?
No, it could be. It might turn into that.
Leave the guy alone.
I like Troy Cassidy. I just don't know that his football team's going to win tomorrow night. It's Saturday night. You got me mixed up because you're going to be at Sierra Canyon.
I don't even know what day
that
it is
game's
right now.
Saturday night. Happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you.
You going to have some cake?
Maybe. I've been trying to watch my figure.
Your figure looks good.
What kind of flavor we got?
I don't know.
Yell it out. What is it?
What is it? Vanilla. You
Yeah.
like vanilla?
I'll probably take a piece then.
You want it all?
No.
You going to tell us what your wish was?
No.
You're going to cover Sierra Canyon basketball. That's your
Yes,
wish, right?
I'll be there. I'll be there Saturday night. Fresno. They're playing San Joaquin Memorial.
You got a busy
At
weekend.
Fresno State.
At Fresno State. What am I doing Saturday night?
Calling Fresno State down at UC Irvine.
You got it. That's where all
We know each other's schedules now. It's just a weird thing.
It's
When
a
you
weird
co-host, you know each other a little too well.
Yeah, too well. For Tarek, I'm Randy. That's going to do it. It was a wild show. We'll be back next week, and we'll talk about all these regional games and have a lot more for you. Happy birthday to Tarek. We'll see you next Thursday night live, 9 o'clock, right here on SoCal Prep Report. Good night, everybody.